friends, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to make a little video about things and stuff, literally. Um, just like belongings and possessions and things like that. As you know, if you have been following along, a large portion of my memoir, Dark World Light Work, takes place over the course of 5 years while myself and my little dog were car dwellers in Southern California. And basically, I've told this story before. The way that we were made homeless was a real estate agent locked the doors to our house while we were out on a walk. And because I'd been harassed by my grandmother's daughter for several months in this manner, leading up to this event, I was prepared for it. So the night before, I packed pretty much almost all of my belongings into my little sedan, in the hopes that my mom would let me stash the stuff in her extra garage. When she said no, I put everything back into my garage because I just couldn't take it with me. It was just like clothes and trinkets and things like that, but it was just a bunch of stuff and it was too much in the car. For me to just transport it very quickly, it was not that bad, but for me to lug it around, I just simply couldn't do it. So at that point, it became a gift to be able to walk away from all of that stuff. I just let it all go. I took what I felt like would be enough for about a week's long trip, and I put that in my car. And if you've ever been on a week's long trip, that's still a lot of stuff. It's still a tremendous amount of stuff. And even over the course of the time when I was homeless, I mostly got dressed in the gym locker room, and even I never wore makeup, and I only had my hair in like a slick bun like this or two little buns the entire time, and it still took me an entire giant backpack full of stuff just to get dressed every day. You know, from the lotion, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, all of that, soaps and things like that. And I don't even use that many things to get dressed. The only thing I put on my face is coconut oil. And I still had a bunch of stuff. I'm like a minimalist. And at the end of me living in the car, I felt like I had too much stuff. I was overwhelmed by stuff in the car. And the crazy thing was the stuff that I gave away from the house was stuff that I'd been looking at in the closet just wanting to get rid of anyway. And then when I was in the car, I felt like my car was full of stuff, but it was just mostly bedding, because like the front of the car, you couldn't tell anybody lived in the car. It was just my seat and then Clementine's dog seat. And then everything was stuffed in the back, but most of it was just a bunch of bedding that took up 2/3 of the trunk. And when I was falsely arrested the last time, they ransacked the car. So I basically had to get rid of all that stuff. Not that I wanted any of that anyway. So I had to let go of all of my stuff again. And if you have watched my last vlog or latest vlog, Last Days Live, you'll see that I have a bunch of stuff again. And the car that I have now is bigger and there's too much stuff in it. I had 3 duffel bags. I know they're not 6 feet. I don't know how big they are, but ideally I would only like to have one of those. And I don't want to have to fold down my seats and stuff a bunch of things in there. And so as the time ticks down on this Airbnb, more than even where we're going next is I'm overwhelmed with like, is there any way that I can downsize this stuff to almost nothing? Because if I could just throw one of those bags in the back and Clementine and we could just go anywhere. Like my other car couldn't get up to the mountains. It couldn't get to the river. It couldn't get across the country. But and I know she doesn't really want to drive, but if I could make it as comfortable as possible, even if we were driving to another Airbnb, I'm just overwhelmed with the idea of stuff. The stuff is too much. I want to make it less. And as the time ticks down, that's the thing that I'm really most concerned about. And I know that that's something that like people are dealing with all the time. There's like an overwhelming amount of stuff. And shout out to people who like to collect things and like trinkets. I don't know how you do it. I like minimalism. Like the least stuff, the better. If I was taking all of the stuff I have right now to a house, it wouldn't be that much, but I don't want any more. Like I really don't. I like a small amount of things. And the biggest stress that I have right now is just lugging things around. I feel like a snail or something, and I don't like it. And that's just my update for today. I'm sure I'll come back with something later. I'm trying to make this below 5 minutes, so I will talk to you later. Love you.